It is Wednesday and no, it's Tuesday. It's only Tuesday. We got one more day before Wednesday. Hey, look, Josh Elledge here, and I'm doing 3 videos because I'm hoping that you can learn from our experience on how we raised over $100,000 in funding for our company. And in this video, I'm going to be talking with you about, should you do that? Should you seek money? And why would you do that? So I'm going to share with you a couple of litmus tests that you can use. And this really helped me because, I've grown companies that have done pretty well, completely bootstrapped, although it took me a long time and went through a lot of pain in order to do that. And I've also grown companies where we've gotten financing or funding, and it made the process a lot easier. Okay. First off, make sure you register for the webinar that I'm doing on Thursday. There is the URL. It's upmyinfluence.com/100K. I'm going to be with my friend Stephen Wibble with Credit Suite. They're a client of ours. They're really, really good people. What Credit Suite does is kind of helps you get your financial house in order and help you get your house in order, just get you established so that when it is appropriate for you to seek funding of some sort, you can call all the shots. And it makes a huge difference. Listen, I've got really good credit. I've got a great history. We've got a business with very good income, 2 businesses with very good income. But when I went to my bank in regards to getting some kind of favorable SBA type funding or whatever, they said, no, we don't really have anything for you. You don't really fit what we're looking for. And that was really frustrating. Now, at the same time, I don't know if you're like me, but I get junk mail daily about easy financing, get up to $250,000 in 15 minutes. Yeah. Have you looked at what the terms are on that? It's a really bad deal. And speaking of bad deals, a lot of times those of us who are business owners, we have this dream that we're going to attract investors. Not all of us, but a lot of us do. And an investor is going to swoop in, give us a bunch of money, and it's going to make all of our dreams come true. Well, what you typically don't really consider is that you have to be pretty special. I mean, it's like, what is it? Like 95% of businesses don't get funded. And so what does that mean for the 95% of us? And those who do, maybe they end up giving away so much equity in the company that it's like, okay, well, I guess I just signed on to have a job. So I'm not going to get too down into the weeds on that. You know what your scenario is and what your goals are. But I do want to let you know that there are so many great options if you want to be able to get access to capital and grow your own company. You don't need these really high-priced predatory lenders. You don't need investors who are going to rake you over the coals. You can actually do this yourself. There's a much better way. Okay, I need to tell you what we were able to do. I'll give you the results of what we were able to do. Thanks to Credit Suite, we got a $75,000 SBA loan, super low interest rates. We got 10 years to pay it off. And I'm actually going to run through some numbers with you real quick to decide if that was something that would ever make sense for you. In addition, we got $20,000 in interest-free, 0% interest for 18 months, up to $20,000 if we ever want it, need it to take advantage of an opportunity. Now, do we need it? No, not necessarily. But if an opportunity comes along, you better believe I'm going to do that. Now, why would I do that? Because, my friends, it's about return on investment. Let me ask you a question. And by the way, Levi, all right, before we do this, I've got bacon treats for Levi. I'm going to step to the side and we're going to see if we can see the wild and elusive Levi. He's my mini Australian Shepherd. Here we go. Levi, there we go. Let's see, is he on camera? Oh, he's down there somewhere. You got to, let's see, we'll hide that, and that. There he is. He's down there somewhere behind the microphone. Levi! All right, there's another bacon treat for him. All right. So Levi was a good doggy, and he's hanging out with me being a good dog, so he gets bacon treats. All right. So let me ask you the question. I'm going to ask you a couple questions. It's just going to kind of mess with your mind a little bit here. And if it does, that's a good thing. You have to understand, my credentials. Why can I talk about this? Because for 12 years, I have been a consumer expert. I have led consumer behavior. I have studied consumer behavior. I've talked a lot about debt over the past 12 years. Debt, I'm not a big fan of for consumptive consumer debt. I think you should avoid that at all costs. I also, however, believe in productive debt. Things like investing in college. Now, you gotta be super smart about that. Same thing with a home. You gotta be super smart about that. Reliable transportation. You should be super smart about that. Do not just stroll into a car lot and buy and do whatever the car dealer tells you to do and pay whatever the financing people tell you to do. Don't do that. You want to be a smart consumer. Does that make sense? The same thing applies to business. Now, how about when you make investments? Does it make sense that you would seek the most favorable terms possible? Do you want the biggest return on investment, or are you just going to jump at whatever you can get? No, you're absolutely going to work to make sure you get the highest interest rate possible. So let me ask you a question. Why on earth would you ever invest in your own company? You know, if you're bootstrapping, chances are you're investing all your own money. So maybe you have $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 in credit card debt that you use to finance your own company. Now that's your own consumer debt. Now, I believe business adulting, you need to separate that. You need to not take on consumer debt to fund your business. However, that's what most of us, that's all we know. But what I'm here to tell you is that you can actually get really amazing terms for business, where your business will be liable, separate entity, not you. And I think you really want to get to that point as quickly as possible. So let's talk about return on investment. If I gave you $100,000, please comment below. Tell me what you would do with that money and what would that be able to allow you to do. Please comment below right now, even if you're watching this on demand. Josh was live earlier. This happened to just comment below. I will go through afterwards. I'm going to check that out. I want to know what it is that you would do with $100,000. Now, if you don't need $100,000, you only want $10,000, that's okay. Comment below. Tell me what you would do with that $10,000. We're live streaming to nearly 100,000 people, so I expect to see a lot of really good answers. I can't wait to find out what all of those $100,000 investments would do. So why would you do that? Why would you take that $100,000 investment? Well, it's simple. You would take it because it would provide return on investment. Do you believe that your business is a solid investment? Well, if it's not a solid investment, keep working on it, make it a solid investment. For most people, this would allow them to maybe hire somebody to help with sales and marketing, maybe some development, help with some operations type stuff. Maybe it would help you with advertising. Would it help you expand your business so that you could create more than the liability? And let's talk about what that liability is. When you take business financing, a lot of times you might look at that and say, well, now I have a $100,000 liability. Well, actually, I'd like you to look at that a little bit differently. Because really what you have is, if you were to do the math, let's say you had like a 10-year term on it. I don't know what the payments are. It's going to be, I think, under $1,000 a month. Okay, but let's say it was an even $1,000 a month. If I gave you $100,000 today, could you, with that $100,000, put yourself in a position where you could earn more than $1,000 a month? So your $1,000 a month invested every month, how much money could that, having that $100,000 in your bank account today, how much money could you earn with that $100,000? Again, if you believe in your business. So hopefully you could look at me and say, Josh, if you gave me $100,000, I'm pretty sure that within 60, 90 days, I could turn that into $2,000 a month profit. If that's the case, let me ask you a question. Does it make sense for you to make a $1,000 a month investment, a liability, in order for you to collect $2,000 in revenue? Well, let me see. That is a 200% ROI. Okay, show me where you can make 200% ROI. I mean, in some cases, like maybe real estate and some other stuff like that, but you already have a business. And if you already have a business and you're telling me that $100,000 can net you $2,000 a month, then you're sitting on a 200% investment that you could be earning. I mean, month after month after month, $1,000 in, bam, $2,000 out. That's amazing. And chances are you probably wouldn't stop there. So that's the first thing. Now, another thing you need to consider is your risk tolerance. Okay. Are you willing to make that investment? Okay. If not, what's stopping you? Is it just fear? Okay. Again, my job is to help you think that would help you in business. I could tell you, like, even if you invested in like services that we provided, okay, our clients make money with our services. When we get them in the media, they get more visibility, they get more authority, their conversion rate goes up, they get more opportunities, their business, they make more revenue. So again, that's why you invest in people that provide marketing services, advertising services, sales services. They're all designed, hopefully, to make you more money. Developers, you have better software, better website. Again, the idea is that earns you more money. You don't want to invest in stuff that's going to be negative, net negative. That's terrible, right? And hopefully that doesn't happen very often. All right, so that's the idea. And now, if you want to learn how to get your own $100,000, okay, you don't have to have spectacular credit. And it may not be that you want to get the $100,000 this year. Like you might have a goal for, Josh, next summer, I would like to be in a position where I could get amazing financing. I don't want to pay 20-something% interest. I only want like the coveted SBA funding. And by the way, the federal government through the SBA program is a fantastic program. That's what we went with because it's the best. It was the best money that we could get. I mean, it was so cheap and we don't have to pay for it. We don't have to pay for it for like 10 years. So the SBA program is amazing. But in order for you to qualify for it, you need to get your business house in order. And that's what we're going to be talking about Thursday. Go to upmyinfluence.com/100K and we're going to teach you some basic business adulting. How to start building your credit slowly, bit by bit. And again, this is your business credit. Right now, I could do a search on your business right now, and I can tell you exactly what your business credit is. Any lender can do that. Anybody can do that. Potential customers can do that. It's not like personal credit where you need someone's permission. You don't need their permission when it comes to business credit. That's one of the things you're going to learn, and you're going to learn all kinds of tips, tricks, resources, and tools that you can use so you can start improving your situation. And after a couple months, you start getting revolving credit, you start getting lines of credit, and soon enough, you're going to be in a position where you can get amazing terms if you should ever want to have access to that. And by the way, I should tell you that if business is good for you right now, and you're like, well, I don't really need the money. Okay, I'm telling you, and I can tell you this from experience, the time you want to apply for things like lines of credit, even if you're not going to use it, you always want to have that line of credit established when times are good. Because if you ever get in a downswing and you ask for a line of credit, guess what? Terms aren't going to be as good. So we want to make sure you again, basic business adulting, that's what we're going to be covering. upmyinfluence.com/100K. Join me Thursday, 1 p.m. Stephen Wibble from Credit Suite is going to be joining me. And I'm going to tell you right now, bring your notebook. Get ready to take some serious notes. And we're going to talk about how you can get yourself an A rating on your business credit, and then you could pretty much march into some really great providers, and they will trip over themselves to want to be able to do business with you, lend you money because you look so good on paper. So that's what we're going to do. So again, see you Thursday, upmyinfluence.com/100K. I want you to be thinking about, if I were to give you $100,000, where would you put it? Okay. And what could you do with it? How much extra money could that help you earn? Comment below, let me know, and I will see you Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Take care, my friends.